Well, guys, it's here. Manitoba is officially in code red. In this week's edition of Social Media Warfare, Manitobans took to the internet to express their displeasure with the handling of COVID-19. Premier Brian Pallister has delivered us weeks of iconic moments, ranging from suggesting a curfew, cutting over $120 million in healthcare, and asking us to volunteer, and finally telling us we need to arrest the curve. This might explain the extra $2.5 million going into the police force to enforce COVID restrictions. For those unfamiliar with the restrictions, Code Red means that we're shutting down gyms, salons, movie theaters, and any small business that is not deemed essential. Essential businesses like grocery stores and pharmacies are only open for 25% capacity. From one perspective, this is a long time coming. In mid-July, Manitoba had just one active case, and now we have over 5,000 active cases. Some suggest that if we just locked everything down for a month when the weather was warmer, this would have been handled much better. That being said, it's flu season in Winnipeg. So were these cases inevitable? Also, if you look at the amount of deaths in Manitoba from 2019 to 2020, it's only an increase of 100 deaths out of 1.3 million people. This also comes on the heels of another ER closing in Winnipeg. We went from 7 in 2016, and now we're down to 3. That's the 4th ER cut by Pallister during his regime as premier. I just find it odd that they closed down gyms, which are places where you can go to improve your immune system and boost your mental health. Where else can I go to improve my mood, be exposed to foreign germs, and also experience an increase in blood flow? Nope, those are also closed. Besides, we all know COVID doesn't affect you if you are, say, trying to get reelected, celebrating the presidency, or are a college football fan for some reason. In the most recent news, the provincial government has flip-flopped back and forth as to whether or not we can have small gatherings of 5 people, or we're only supposed to hang out with those in our household. People are up in arms. Oh, now people are going to look for reasons to sneak out. Hey, dude, people were sneaking out regardless. Just remember this, couples exist. I think the mortality rate would seriously have to be at 95% for people to not care about getting laid. And even then, I would absolutely take that risk.
Man, you want to get killed for liquor?
No, but I would get killed for pussy. No questions asked.
It's important to note that human beings are naturally selective and hypocritical beings just trying to justify what's closest to their best interests. I'm not saying that we can't combat our biases and shortcomings. I'm just trying to remind you that we make moral intuitions first, and then we use reasoning to justify those actions. Glaucon was a Greek philosopher who said human beings, when they feel like they're not being watched, will try to get away with as much as they can. That's true, whether you're trying to sneak off into your vacation home in Costa Rica or just break the Stella's picket line for a Mexican breakfast. And I'm no better. If I had an opportunity to say, I don't know, fly across the country to Atlantic Canada, for example, hypothetically, to go meet somebody I'm close with, to have one of the best trips of my life, and I had to break a couple of COVID-19 rules to do so, I would do it. Take that down. I understand. Government officials have their team of advisors, doctors, and scientists, and it's important to monitor their decisions being made. That being said, following orders isn't moral high ground to mic drop on disgruntled citizens. Depression, suicide, stress, and domestic violence between partners are all up across the board. Small business owners are stressing out daily, worrying about how they're going to pay their employees next. Nobody gets off scot-free in the middle of a lockdown. We all get harmed. Even the WHO admitted that while restrictions are necessary at times, they're not long-term solutions. One of the key aspects of that is that it helps keep poor people poor. Look, I'm the furthest thing from a scientist. In fact, the only thing I remember from high school biology is the definition of schmegma. I'm not trying to claim that I know all the answers, or I'm demanding society be reopened now at my whim. However, it's always worthwhile to question leadership, to live true to your values, and not live in perpetual fear. Following rules blindly doesn't absolve you morally, and neither does taking the other side for the sake of being a contrarian. Assuming the people on the other side of the morality spectrum are morally bankrupt is completely unfair. Ultimately, it's important to ask questions and be honest with how you feel. So the question begs, what do we do? Well, for one, practice compassion and listen to what other people are saying. It's so easy to get caught up in our own moral complex of what we think is best for everyone. However, as counterproductive as it may seem, the people on the other side from us are necessary to building a healthy, functioning, and just society going forward. Let me know what you think in the comments. Peace.